Roxanne Hampton, and I'm here today with Scott Brantley, our country music artist and writer. We're going to do a little talking with you. How you doing, Scott?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me.
Well, we've got some questions for you. First of all, you write and sing primarily country music,
yes,
right?
Ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And we know you perform all over the place. Athens loves you, as a matter of fact. Everybody in Dublin, Georgia loves you, and they know you. But I've got a few questions for you. How did you get into performing and all? What made you decide to start playing guitar?
My family. My mom and dad both grew up with a strong musical background, and from an early age, it was just a big part of what we did, you know. And my dad played in bands and stuff when I was young, VFWs, stuff like that. And I can remember going to shows. Now, he quit playing around as much as we got older, but and then, you know, going to family reunions was always big music on mom and dad's side, so it just kind of happened. I didn't have much choice.
Do you remember how old you were when you started playing? Or
well, when I first started playing, my first interest was drums, and I got a drum set at 3, a little plastic drum set, and I tore it to pieces. And when I was 4, Christmas, I got a real drum set, you know. And that's what I played primarily. I thought I was going to be a drummer, and I played through high school and stuff, and got into bands, and I picked up guitar. I guess 14 or 15.
So you're multi-talented. You play guitar, drums. Is there anything else you play?
Bass, guitar. I played bass guitar. I really picked up bass before regular guitar. Me and my brother started a gospel quartet, and called the Rising Suns, and I wasn't really good at guitar. I could play a couple of chords, but I had learned a little bit more bass, and I played bass guitar in that first, and then late teens I really started focusing more on regular guitar. So I dibble around on piano, but I'm not good at piano. I play piano like a guitar player.
Well, so looking back, all of us, anybody that's in music anyway, whether you're country, rock, pop, whatever, everybody always has some type of heroes, some music heroes that prompted us to play a certain type of music, or perhaps we wanted to be them. So I know you're like I am. You like older country, and you grew up with older country. So who were some of the people that made you really want to do country music? I mean, because, you know, there's so many different types of music.
That's right. And there's a lot of different types of country music.
There's a lot of different types of country music.
In my house was a lot of Merle Haggard and George Jones and Conway Twitty and that kind of stuff. I have a cassette tape at 3 years old, me and my dad singing Merle Haggard together. You could hear me in there a little bit out of tune, but so growing up in my household, it was a lot of Haggard and Jones and Conway Twitty. And then as I got older, I became a big George Strait fan.
Yeah.
Alan Jackson, all those guys. I lean more towards the traditional style of country, but I like it all. I mean, I like all types of music. You know, growing up in the generation I grew up in, you know, we listened to a little bit of everything, even like R&B type stuff and pop music, Michael Jackson, all that stuff. So I mean, I listened to it all, and all of that. When we sit down to write, you kind of get influences from all of it, but. My biggest hero, I guess, honky-tonk hero, is probably Merle Haggard.
Oh, that's good. My dad used to love Merle Haggard, too. I grew up with the same people you grew up with. So we know that you're a big performer, but I know that you're also a writer, and you're a songwriter.
I try to be.
Do you remember the first song you ever wrote? I'm sure it's a lot different than what you write now, but do you remember the first song and how it felt to write? Because I know it's got to be different than performing.
Yeah, I started writing at later. I mean, some people, you know, that are writers, real writers, started early teens or even earlier. But I guess I wrote my first song when I was closer to 20, after I picked up, you know, a 6-string guitar. And, I remember it pretty well. Just kind of a corny song. Kind of in the style of Joe Diffie or something.
Yeah.
And then I kind of, you know, thought that I might write more songs, and me and my brother David started writing a lot together. But I guess it was close to 20, 21 years old, somewhere around that area, when I really started trying to write.
Yeah. So your song probably wasn't as corny for your first song as those that write it in preteen area, because you know those are like, oh, I'm in love, and
it may have been.
Well, that's good. So now I'm going to ask you a question that is strictly preference, because everybody's different.
No,
you perform, you write. What do you like about each one of them? But which one do you like the most?
That's kind of a tough question. I don't know. I enjoy performing a lot because I play guitar too. I try to play lead guitar, and I really love doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And I could probably play guitar in a band and not be the front guy, the singer, the main focal point, and be just as happy as being the front guy. I'm not real big on the spotlight. I just kind of fell in that position by circumstance with the band I'm in now. But so I love playing, probably first and foremost. But I've developed more of a love for writing as of late, and your husband's a lot to do with that. He's helped create a more passion for writing because it's fun, and you hear it. It's so cliche. You hear it all the time going to a show and people singing your songs back to you, and you see more. I see more and more of that at my shows, and that's a great feeling. You can't hardly. There's no way to put that in words.
Right.
I can't describe that feeling. So it's tit for tat, but I guess I love just being on stage in front of people, and the whole when they sing songs back to you type thing. The live entertainment value to me is maybe a little more gratifying.
Right.
But if I get a song recorded, just say one of our tunes get recorded and George Strait takes it #1, I may change my mind quick.
Or ScottBrantley takes it to #1.
Well, that'd be great too.
But and I'm a performer, so obviously I like the performance part. I like to entertain. I like to play with the crowd and stuff like that. I've tried writing with Derek. And we've written stuff together. I find it tedious. I find it tedious. So if you're really, for me it's the slow part of what's behind the scenes, because I've seen you guys here at night, and y'all will start something and it's 3 hours before you actually get a song going, and so it's a little tedious if you're not. I mean, you got to love it to do it.
That's right. And sometimes you can come right in. I know a couple of months ago I came in and I already had an idea, and it was so easy to write.
Mm-hmm.
We had it finished in a little over an hour, and it was a pretty good idea, and we kind of knew exactly where we wanted to go, the direction of the song. But then there's those nights when you don't really have an idea. You just get in the room and hash out, try to figure out what you want to write about. And I'm big on stuff that's easily relatable in real life. I mean, life is not always happy. Life is, and that's what I love about country music, because it relates to anything you're going through. A lot of times, hip hop can't do that, or rock can't do that.
Right.
If you're going through a tough time, or sad, or death, or getting over someone, or happy, or anything, country music, you can feel those emotions, and sometimes it's a little harder to come with. But I want to write songs that are real life, that anybody can relate to, and to get those good ideas that'll hook you in, it's a little more difficult. But that's the challenge of songwriting. That's what makes it fun. But when you write with someone like Derek, it's a little more easy. But the challenge of coming up with the idea and getting it where you hook the audience with, oh man, that's great.
Right.
That's what makes it gratifying.
Well, and I imagine I've heard a lot of different writers say too, is like we were talking about what you grow up with, you tend to portray that in your music. So, I mean, like with Derek, he grew up with the Eagles, and they did a lot of the Eagles. And so, but, that's kind of a very 80s sound. So that was one thing that was hard. So you find that hard is taking what you want and making it today's music, because it's a lot different. Country music's different today than it was when we were growing up.
Yeah, and it can be difficult on me because I'm an old school soul when it comes to country music. I love the old stuff and the straightforward, simple lyrics. Mm-hmm. And that's why I say getting together with Derek helps me, because he has got that little more of a rock, pop type background, and then we try to combine both elements and still make a modern sounding song that people can relate to. It's cool, and when you come out with a good song that you think people can relate to and will love, Oh man, that's cool. Very, very cool.
Well, we're here with Scott Brantley, and we're going to take a break, and we'll be back in just a minute.
Well, hey, you got one of those insurance apps too? You know how this thing works?
No, sorry. Not an app, it's my agent.
In this moment,
No, I'm fine, thanks.
it's good to know you have a trusted, independent auto owner's insurance agent who's there when you need them.
Great.
Man, I gotta get one of those.
Auto Owners Insurance. The no problem people.
See your insurance, your auto owner's agent at 904 Bellevue Avenue in Dublin or call 272-0915.
All right, we're back with Scott, and we're going to let you sing a couple of songs for us.
Okay.
If you want to tell us what you're singing and if you wrote it. And
This first song I'll do is it's one that me and my brother David and Bernie Nelson wrote together, and Carter Hamrick. It's a song called Her Taillights. It's about a girl we love everything about her except for one thing, her taillights. She got her daddy's green eyes and her mama's complexion. You best believe me, there ain't any question. She can drive me crazy with just one touch. You talk about a looker, let's talk about her smile. She could light up the night for a country mile. Weren't nothing about that girl that I didn't love. Then last night she packed up everything, and she told me she needed to spread her wings. I watched her as she faded into the night. Yes, I finally found something about her I don't like, and that's her taillights leaving me believing I ain't ever getting over this hopeless feeling, or the memory of her telling me goodbye. I'm gonna miss her laughter, miss her kisses. The only thing I won't be missing for sure are her taillights. She got those pouty little lips that get on over here grin. Her sweet southern charm always made me give in and say I was sorry whenever we had a fight. The sound of her voice when she called my name, the smell of her hair when we danced in the rain, the dream of forever as I held her tight. Last night she packed up everything, and she told me she needed to spread her wings. I watched her as she faded into the night. Yes, I finally found something about her I don't like, and that's her taillights leaving me believing I ain't ever getting over this hopeless feeling, or the memory of her telling me goodbye. I'm gonna miss her laughter, miss her kisses. The only thing I won't be missing for sure are her taillights. Man, those taillights.
Wow, that's wonderful. I like it. Now, you said that you wrote that with David, your brother, and
Yeah.
I think pretty much everybody in Dublin will know who David is. Bernie Nelson,
Yeah.
is a Nashville guy.
That's right.
And I know a lot of Bernie stuff, and he writes some awesome stuff. And it's I think in Nashville, it's a pretty big deal when you get to write with Bernie.
Yeah, Bernie's a great guy, heck of a songwriter. We've written several songs with him. Probably his biggest one's "Daddy Never Was a Cadillac Kind."
Mm-hmm.
But he's got some great stuff. I always love writing with him.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Salvation Army Family Store is located at 1617 Telfair Street in Dublin, Georgia. We have all kind of great items in our store. We've got clothes, we have gowns, we have ties, we have shoes, furniture, mattresses, household goods, just about anything you can imagine we have. And on top of that, our prices are super low. Just about anybody can afford the things that we have in our store. We're also looking for donations. We need your items so we can continue to help the community. If it's too big for you to bring, then give us a call at 478-275-7336 and we'll arrange to come pick it up. The Salvation Army is a community organization that we help people with clothing and food items. We help with furniture and rent assistance. We help during disaster times. We help with just about anything we can. We take the proceeds from the sale of our store and we use that money in our programs here in Dublin and Lawrence County. The Salvation Army Family Store, 1617 Telfair Street, Dublin, Georgia.
Do you have another one you're going to play for us?
Yeah. Let's
Okay.
see. We'll do something a little faster and a little more happy, I guess. Let's see. A little song called "Good Thing Going" that me and my brother write together a lot. Me and David and a guy named Trent Jeffcoat from South Carolina wrote this one.
Okay.
She's all yogurt and granola. I'm scrambled eggs and cheese. She's got fashion figured out, and my britches got holes in the knees. If a stranger saw us walking down the street, he'd probably think we ain't got a prayer. But sometimes salt and pepper taste better together. We're forever called love don't care. We got a good thing going. Got a real good thing going. We got a good thing going. Going home. Sometimes I just look at her sitting right by my side. I can't help but think of how lucky I am to have her along for this ride. Yeah, most folks, they just wander around, wondering what love's all about. But there's one thing for certain, what we got is working. We're gonna keep on trucking with the windows down. We got a good thing going. Got a real good thing going. We got a good thing going. Going home. Yeah, we do. Got my drummer back there. Got a good thing going. Got a real good thing going. Yeah, we got a good thing going. Going home. Good thing going there.
That's good. Now, Scott, I have to say, you have a very smooth voice. It's not everybody has that type of voice. I mean, some people, it's quirky or whatever, but you've got more of what, kind of like a Don Williams or George Strait type voice.
Oh,
it's
okay.
very smooth and very fluid. It's not pitchy. It's not it just kind of flows out. It makes you feel warm, I think, inside. I think everybody, especially the girls out there, know what I'm talking about. So, my question to you now, since we're talking about country music, smoothness, What do you think about the trend that country music has taken now with things like the bro country? And I mean, it's obviously not there's a traditional country, and I think you and I both know we may never get traditional country back. But I mean, there's kind of ups and downs I know in Nashville about how bro country's going.
Yeah.
I mean, I think people are kind of getting a little tired of hearing it, and I know writers all have their own opinion of it.
Yeah.
So what's yours?
Well, my take on it is, I guess it would be okay if it was just kind of, one or two, but it seems like everybody's doing the same thing.
Right.
When you turn on the country radio these days, this is just my opinion now, it's not right or wrong, it sounds like everything's the same. It sounds like 10 different artists went in one studio on one day and they recorded 10 different songs, but they're all the same people playing on them, same lyrics, basically just rearranged here and there. And I don't know, I find myself getting bored with it,
I do too, and sometimes I wonder if it's my age, because I'm not a 20-year-old, and I know that a lot of 20-year-olds like that. Let's get back in the back of the truck and ride down the road,
Yeah.
and that's fine. It's cool.
Yeah.
But I'm like you. It's too many people are singing the same thing. So maybe you will be that next generation that brings in a new kind of country, because about every 10 years country changes.
Yeah, it's cyclical. It changes every 10, 15 years. And sometimes I wonder if I was 15 years too early or 15 years too late for what I love. But, yeah, there's a big talk about it. People kind of speaking their mind, seem like. And there's nothing wrong with it, but the general public seems to listen more to the beat now.
Yeah.
And to me, a song is not a song without words. It's just music. And if all you're listening to is the music, then why even have words?
Right.
Where does that leave writers? And just get more creative with what you're trying to say. Talk about the good and the bad.
Exactly.
Life is not always happy, and people need those songs sometimes
Right.
to get over situations. And that's what I like to hear. Songs like Miranda's "The House That Built Me," or stuff like that.
Exactly. Don't you want to write the next "The House That Built
Oh,
Me"?
yeah. That'd be pretty strong. Man.
Exactly. So, well, I know that you perform a lot. Do you have anything coming up that around the area that we could go see, or that people need to be aware of? I know you have a lot of followers from Dublin that go different places too. So.
Yeah. I'm actually taking most of the month of February off, and because I'm working on a little deal in Nashville, and hopefully we'll have some good news pretty soon. But I will be playing around in the area in March. I got some shows coming up in Macon and in Augusta at Wild Wing Cafe there, and I'll be down in Tifton in March, and I'll be in Swainsboro for their festival in May. But we've got some more stuff on the books that hopefully we can get out and get some more people to.
And if I understand things correctly, then the possibilities are you may be going to Nashville a little bit more often than you do now.
Yeah, I hope to start having to go up there a lot more often. So maybe we'll have some good news coming soon.
Well, that'll be good. Now, where can people go to listen to your music? Do you have a website, or are you on iTunes, things like that?
Yeah, I'm on iTunes. I'm on the Android store, the Google Play store. You can type in Scott Brantley on Google and find a lot of stuff. My website right now is under construction. We're actually redoing it completely to give it a new look, a good new feel. We try to redo it every so often, and it's in that process right now. But it's ScottBrantley.com.
Okay.
It'll be back up shortly. You can find me on Facebook at Scott Brantley Music, and I'm also on ReverbNation.com/ScottBrantley. So just look for Scott Brantley. You can find it.
Okay, and that way people will know when your events are coming up. They can go on
Yes,
there
ma'am.
and follow you and see what's going on. I know I see on Facebook pretty often when you're going to do something. So
Yeah, we try to get the word out, and hopefully we can get. I love to see hometown friends and family at the shows. It means
Yeah.
a lot to have the hometown support. So
now, if you have one song that you love to sing every time when you're out, what song is that?
does it have to be one of mine or?
No, it doesn't have to be one of yours. Something that you really enjoy singing.
I don't know. One of my songs that I like to do is a song I wrote called "Cheese Wine" that I really hope would pick up and do something. Actually, Alan Jackson, I think, had it on hold at one time to record, but he didn't. I guess maybe it didn't fit the project. And I'm a big Keith Whitley fan. I didn't mention him earlier, but he's a huge influence. And Miami is one we love to do live. So those two probably are my favorites right now that we're doing.
Well, I love Keith Whitley too. You had to kind of, that is definitely a person that if you listen to his music, you can hear the pain that he obviously went through, and which is what I think makes a good writer. I mean, if you can listen to a song and feel it,
That's
then
right.
I think as a writer you would think that's a great thing when somebody says, "Oh, I get it."
Yeah, every song that and not Keith Whitley didn't record a bunch of his own songs,
Right.
But when you hear him sing them, you think he wrote them, and that's the
Exactly.
way an artist should deliver songs. If you sing it, man, you can feel what he was going through. And one of the biggest compliments that I've ever got when we were in Nashville, we were meeting with a publicist, and we sang her one of the new songs that we had just written that day, and she told us after the song was done, she said, "I think I just felt the presence of Keith Whitley in this room," and I still get chills to this day thinking about it. It's one of the biggest compliments I've ever got, just being such a huge Keith Whitley fan.
Well, I tell you what, why don't you do a song and we'll kind of go out with you singing and give everybody a little taste of what Scott Brantley likes to sing.
Okay, well, we'll since we're talking about Keith, we'll do a little Keith Whitley. I guess,
Okay.
if that's okay. Well, everybody talks about the California quakes. The first time I ever felt the earth shake was in Miami, when Amy touched me. Oh, it shook me. I told her I loved her and I wanted to stay. She said, "Be sure, I'll call you in LA." Even in the taxi, I could hear my telephone ring, calling me from Miami, Miami. What took you so long? I thought you'd never call. And Miami, oh, Miami, Miami, Miami loves me after all.
Scott Brantley, everybody.